Facebook Live. Oh. In there.
Do I have to
Yeah. No,
go
no,
live
here. Minimize. Minimize. Start this.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Brooklyn Cafe studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat at the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, or a movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in free 888-994-4995 right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
And welcome. Ring the bell.
I still feel like it's Christmas when you ring those bells.
You can ring them. It's just so funny. It's like a church in here and all hell breaks loose.
Everyone likes that.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a beautiful...
Wonderful Wednesday.
Wonderful Wednesday.
I know that because my wands are out and your fingers are looking a little creepy.
It's not a little creepy. They're full of spray paint.
I know. Wait till you see what we got cooking.
We're cooking some stuff here at the theater.
We got some behind the scenes footage of what was going on outside.
No, you didn't do that.
Oh, yeah.
Why would you do that?
Why? Because you know what? People think what we do is lights on camera. We work for 2 hours a day and we go home. They have no idea. They have no idea what our day was like today anyway, but the behind the scenes, still getting our sets ready. There's spray painting going on outside. You and DJ, everyone's all dressed for winter, and you guys are outside on a beautiful, crisp, clear Wednesday in Boca Raton spray painting.
That's right. We were spray painting the steps, the stairs, the tables, everything black and nice. And it's funny because the wind is blowing north, west, east, and south.
Yeah, which is always nice to watch the spray paint blow north, east, south, and west.
So you have to move around it.
We were watching that.
DJ, I says, you got to move around. You got to be quick on your feet.
We were watching that.
And he says, well, how do you know which way it's going to blow? I says, when it blows in your face, you got to turn around the other way.
Which way does the wind blow? We've got Beatrice and Mia on board. You guys are doing great. I love watching Bee Train Mia. Great voiceover you did today, Mia. Fantastic. And I keep calling you things that, but it's not the Cafe Press. We'll be going out probably tomorrow, 12 o'clock. So check your inbox. And maybe I'll send it out in the morning when people are looking, they're scrolling through. Here.
Drinking their morning coffee.
Exactly. So
where'd you get this? Did you see that? Did you see that? You saw it, right? Where did this come from?
From the wand.
She went,
here. It's all in the wand. I'm telling you.
In the wand, my foot. That was a little enough for the wand.
That's pretty magical.
Holy smokes, this is hilarious.
Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. You can find us live all over social media, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. We've got lots going on. We've got Fem City joining us later, and of course, actually speaking with Ann because it is Wednesday. But kicking this off, we're going to get a recap of the Reboot Wellness Cruise. We've got Tony with us, we've got Doug McGurk, and we have Jackie Tarleton joining us from Miami, the Plant Chicks. Which is perfect timing because
the plant chicks? I saw one plant chick.
She's a plant chick because Freddie has now gone more than a little vegan. He's gone a lot of vegan.
I gone vegan.
Except
when I have like a milk product. Milk is probably my weakest thing because it's in the coffee. Other than that, it's pretty much. Or an egg here and there.
You put eggs in your coffee?
Yeah.
Yes, raw. Him Rocky's like, da-da-da.
Yes, I got to get
Don't do that.
I got to get
spray paint on your
I got to
hands,
get this.
your
No,
eye.
I got to get the spray paint out of my eyes. When you
don't
spray
use the
paint, it
same
goes on your
tissue, though.
eyelids. Well, then pull out another one. I got to tell you, because I can't see. Okay. Yes, I put eggs in my coffee once in a while, and it's only egg whites. But yes, I've gone vegan. And it has a lot to do with meeting Tony. And also, you had somebody in your cruise, Jeanette.
Yeah.
Walkley?
Well, I can't remember her last name. And she did real well, except that she didn't realize it was a European ship, and she needed to convert it. And it came in at the end, but she got names and addresses and everything. She had a very successful trip. She's going to be here tomorrow.
We'll make it better for her the next time as well. So at least she got her feet wet.
Well, I use her system. I have gone to her system, and I firmly believe in her system, and I went vegan. And the inflammation of my body has disappeared. I've lost 8 pounds.
Wow.
And the inflammation has gone away, and the neuropathy in my legs is a whole lot better. And she explained to me what was going on one side. And then I saw The Game Changer. And if you ever want to see a documentary about turning vegan without saying, oh, I don't, blah, 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 watch that. And some of the most biggest names in the game have gone to the vegan side. Now, do I like being vegan? No. It tastes like vegan.
It tastes like plants?
Yes. It's like, I grew up on a farm, and I saw cows chewing their cud. And if you get close to them, you pet them and what have you, and we have that kind of farm, it smells like grass. Everything you eat vegan smells and tastes like grass. It just does to me.
And not in a good way?
Not in a good way.
Are you
Okay.
vegan?
Not that kind of grass. Wrong grass.
Well, I'll eat vegan.
But you eat regular other food as well.
Yeah.
I tried it for about a week. I had such a rebound headache, such a migraine that
Is it toxins leaving your
it
body?
was.
Yeah.
It was terrible. I mean, I went
toxins
everything.
leaving your
I mean,
body.
all the way down to what was in my coffee.
Yeah.
I was putting in
They
coconut
have-
milk, and I got to tell you, the headache was terrible.
Well, they have all that. They have vegan cheese. I
Nobody
had that last
warned me
night.
though, so
Yeah, that's
when
the
we talked to
detox
Jackie,
process.
I want to, there should be a warning of maybe go gently into this veganhood, or what to expect, or what to replenish your body with if you're going to do it. You, thank goodness, I don't think you've had any rebound effects. I was like,
Well, even if I do, I don't care. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be very honest. I took something, I needed a liver cleansing, and I took it here on the set. I took 2 pills, and I was dizzy for a second on the air. And it hasn't happened since. But every time I try something new, I sort of get an adjustment on the body. But the funny thing about doing it, and you don't have to be vegan. You could be a little vegan. It's about eating right. It's about eating with things that my body as a diabetic is not the same thing as to you. You can handle the inflammation. I can't. Everything to me is very super sensitive. So if you eat chicken, and I love chicken, it carries the inflammation antibodies in there. And the problem I'm having is it is affecting parts of my body. So I stopped eating it. And it's not about saving the cow or saving the chicken. I was in a farm, man. I mean, for my days of saving those animals are done. It's not about saving animals. People ask me, oh, you want to save? I turned a kid at Chipotle vegan. And he says, really? And he was watching Game Changer on his phone. He says, that's it. I'm not going to eat this chicken no more. Because they have vegan stuff, which is, peas or whatever. Tastes pretty good.
Yeah.
It's all about the mindset.
I love your delivery,
Why?
peas and stuff.
Well, it has all sorts of stuff, Tony,
Yeah, well, these days, being a vegan is not as hard as it was 10 years ago.
You're right.
I mean, because there's a lot of chefs that have gone through programs, and they make that stuff taste like food that you grew up on. So,
Unbelievable.
That is true.
They got a cheese, doesn't melt. Maybe it's made of cardboard, who knows? But my God, the taste on it is tremendous. Now, you have to watch your sodium, true fact, because the sodium content sometimes is high. You got to watch carbs. Vegan eats a lot of carbs, and diabetics can't. But all of a sudden, my sugar is coming down with some of the things that she has taught me. But anyway, people now want to go on your next cruise. Because
Let's talk about this cruise, though.
we are. But I just want you to know that the word did get out.
wonderful.
And they were talking about this. They want to hear about what happened. Everybody's excited about this because I heard you had a very successful trip.
We had a wonderful time. It exceeded expectations for some who were first timers. Doug was one of our speakers. I definitely want you to hear his words on it. And of course, Jackie was one of the speakers when we were on the island. We had like a couple of lectures right on the shoreline, and that's where Jackie's took place. So you'll see some pictures probably on Facebook and Instagram for that. Check out Reboot Cruise on Instagram and Reboot Wellness on Facebook. You'll see a bunch of the photos, and I'm excited to hear from Jackie and her point of view, because her and her partner they've just been really blasting out some social media stuff and really promoting for the next one. So that's exciting when everybody's getting off the boat and planning the next one. We're not even off the boat yesterday or Monday, and folks are looking forward to the next cruise. So for me, that's success.
How many went on the ship? How many
We
did you
had
have?
about 70 people part of our group.
Which is nice little
fantastic.
sign.
Nice
Increase
show.
from the time before.
It's a nice
And
sign.
we'll look to 6 times that in the June cruise. So we're excited.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And was everything that you wanted, because you had a lot of layers on this thing, right? You did a lot of different things on there. Everything went according to plan. Were there any hiccups, any changes, things that you learned?
Yeah, I learned a few things. One of the things, first and foremost, Lindsay Martinez, my co-host, obviously she was there on the first one, so listening to her, we had about an hour and 20-minute conversation last night, and part of that conversation was that this one was smoother and flowed and just, it's only 2 days, but it seemed like it was quicker than the last one simply because of the organization was a little bit better, a little bit tighter this time. So hearing that from her, I'm excited to know that we can improve the logistics a little bit more even the next time and really tighten up on what we did. But yeah, we did well. Food was good, but I did learn that I want to have my own chef so we can just have, just our personal chef for our group. So I'll be working on that for the next one as well.
Oh,
Can
very
you
cool.
do that? They'll let you bring your own chef?
I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll let you do almost anything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we'll bring our own personal chef next time as well.
That's fantastic. And what are some of the things that you learned? Did you walk away with any new information even though this was your event?
Well, yeah, I can't do it all. I need help when it comes to logistics and marketing. And now that everyone is on board, it seems like I've created about at least 10 new ambassadors for the next cruise. So I'm excited to accept that help and receive that help humbly. And the folks that are coming on to help, they're not offering things. There was nothing lacking. It's just how can we improve certain areas? And they're giving it to me in a non-offensive way, so I don't feel, put down or put off or that sort of thing. Everybody is really all about making this thing blow up to where we're just filling up ships multiple times a year.
I love it.
So multiple impactful cruises annually is what we're looking to do.
Well, I tell you, your influence, and we used to have the segment, just a little vegan, because I said if you can do vegan once a month, and then once a week and everything else, the eating habits of what we have added on to what you're doing, I gave it a shot. When I met you, I says, I'm going to give this thing a shot because maybe that's the reason I have the inflammation. So a lot of people, I'm going to throw my ring in a hat. I want diabetics to go on this reboot cruise, the next one.
Well, my mom's diabetic, and she was on there, and you'll speak to Jackie in a moment. The plant chicks are going to work with her. I had hernia surgery 2 years ago, and as a result of not being on chicken, beef, and pork all of 2019, I've lost 15 pounds and reduced inflammation in my body as
It's
well.
amazing.
So, yeah, it's.
Do you eat fish?
I haven't lately, but yeah, I started off. I called it plant-based and vegetarian. I wasn't calling it
Which
vegan,
is very
so to
close.
speak, but
It's very close.
pretty much just eliminated chicken, beef, and pork. I
Okay.
would still eat shrimp, I would still eat fish, and still eat eggs, but I've cut eggs out now as well over the last 4 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it makes a huge difference if you cut everything out. The growth of this thing is fast. Now, the other thing that happened is the Tennessee Titans that just got eliminated.
Yeah.
In the documentary, that team decided to go, half the team went vegan for this year, this NFL season.
Yeah.
And you see, Henry was a beast in Alabama. He's always been a beast, but my goodness gracious, he was carrying 4 or 5 guys on him. I haven't seen that since the days of Herschel Walker,
Yeah.
when he used to carry people with him. But this kid is tremendous, strong, and they compared an ox. You know what an ox looks like?
Yes.
Tremendous beast, yes? Pulls these things and seeds and all. It's all plant-based. If he can do it, then we can do it too. So it influenced me. So now what my cause is, because I'm going to try to stay as vegan as I can, is to talk to my diabetic people who listen and watch the show. Because we've been down this road looking and looking and looking. No doctor, nobody. And I've tried everything, Tony. I've tried from Alabama to here. I've tried every potion in the world. True? Everything, every enzyme, everything. And the inflammation never went away until now. So now you got my attention. And I want people to go on this cruise, start saving up now to go on this thing, because I think you guys are the future. This is what it's really come about in the diabetics world. And I spoke to Barry, whose daughter died of diabetes, and he's all in too. So we're going to take it to Europe. So they want to see what the model looks like as well. So there's a lot of stuff we're going to be covering here. I just want to set it up so people understand what today is about, because it's very dear to me. I mean, this thing almost killed me, right? You know that. It almost killed me 3 years ago. So to me, I have a passion about this. So whatever you want to try, whatever we got to do to get it out there, let's get it out there, because from what I'm hearing, the cruise was tremendous.
I appreciate that, and I look forward to your help. And we will offer an early bird special before I leave the show today to the audience.
Excellent.
Fantastic. And Rob, you were one of the
Doug.
speakers. Doug, sorry.
Yes.
What did you talk about?
Well, Tony, we met a few months ago, and we hit it off. And when we were talking about what he had going on, what I do is I'm a freedom hacker. Are you familiar with Tony Robbins? So I was
Yeah.
on the road with Tony for
Okay.
many years, and then trained by Tony, the guys that trained Tony. And then my wife and I worked at a treatment center, and we did all the clinical, not all the clinical work, but we ran the clinical programming and so forth, and I incorporated a lot of breakthroughs. And our goal was to help people create a life worth being sober for. Very similar to this conversation, the work that you're talking about, like going vegan, you did it so you'd have more energy, to have more passion, to be able to be more sustainable in your journey to help others. So the work I do is around mindset, but it's also experiential. So when I talked to Tony, I said, hey, what could we do to take it to another level so that when people leave, they can integrate all their experiences and then have even more momentum when they leave. So what we did was I do breakthroughs. I'm a breakthrough facilitator, as it were. So we brought a suitcase full of broken glass and some arrows, wooden arrows. And the experience was, after we did some work talking about all the conversations that people had, all the decisions that they made, what were their commitments moving forward, then addressing a little bit what's been holding them back, all that inside mindset, chitter chatter, those conversations people have, vegan tastes bad, tastes like vegan, all of those things, address those, and then decide to move forward with grace, elegance, and power, and then walk across the broken glass in your bare feet, being present to that decision and really holding that space, holding that vision. And then when we got to the end of the broken glass, we put the arrow in the soft part of your neck right there and just kept on walking and then busted the arrow. And the purpose of that was to create an experience that lodged in the nervous system, that all of the experiences that everyone had over the weekend, they were going to remember with even more energy in their bodies, so that when that opportunity to go, oh, should I have that burger? And they go, oh, wait a minute, I made a decision. That's not it. So, I actually committed when I walked across that. If I could walk across the broken glass.
Hold on. Wait, did they literally walk across glass, or is this a metaphor?
Both.
I'm a diabetic. Me walking on glass, I don't think it's a great idea.
Which is exactly why, when you do it, it has even more power.
I think Jackie was saying something also. Jackie, are you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here. We literally walked across glass and broke an arrow with our throat. It was amazing. The cruise was all about experiential. So what Doug did, we were able, we developed these crazy stories around situations in our mind. And by actually walking across glass, like, who in their right mind is going to walk on glass?
Right.
But when you do it, when you're present, you're being mindful, you're paying attention, it can happen. And the same thing, when we have these amazing ideas or goals that we want to break through, we want to achieve these amazing goals, business-wise, personally, professionally, whatever it is, we have to break them down. And when we take it step by step and we're being very mindful and present, we can crush them. And I walked on glass and I broke an arrow with my throat, and I was shocked.
How was
So am
it?
I.
How much
It was
pain were you in?
exhilarating.
How much pain were you in, or no?
I can imagine that must have hurt.
No pain?
No, it really wasn't. The glass, first of all, I've got amazing teeth, so I wasn't
She's
worried
got
about the
amazing
glass
feet?
at
Is
all.
that what she said?
And the throat, no, it's more the mental part of it. It was not, because you have all these people cheering you on, and you had Doug there guiding you. So it wasn't nearly as scary as what it would be if you were told, okay, you're going to walk on glass and crush an arrow with your throat. So you had Doug holding your hand, helping you, guiding you, and it was great.
So what is it? Changing your mindset, Doug, that you can do this?
So yeah, we have these conversations in our head, and when we believe, like Henry Ford said, if you believe you can or believe you can't, either way, you're right. And by the way, Jackie was awesome. She came, she just stepped right up, and there were a few people who were a little more nervous. They were full on. The Plant Chicks, full on, ready to go. But what happens is we collapse limiting beliefs when we experience something we once thought was impossible. So when a lot of the work I do is getting people a little nervous about it, and hopefully even more nervous about it before they do it, so that they can collapse a belief system. And then once you do that, once your brain actually shatters a limiting belief, you have an easier time questioning other beliefs that are holding us back. So especially when people are like, oh, I'm diabetic, I can't walk across that. Other areas of your life, we may have a similar conversation. So if we believe that something is going to be a certain way and that prevents us from doing so, but we collapse it in another area, what happens is we can translate our mindset and move over. Our brain can now question other issues that we think may be impossible.
What do you think were some of the mindsets that got changed or closed or shifted?
For each person, it was individual. The way we set it up is I allowed them to come up with their own situations, positions, decisions that they've made, and we didn't spend as much time as we could, because we were full on the whole weekend. I think we wrapped up the glass walk at like midnight or so.
Wow.
So we didn't spend a whole lot of time unpacking, but some of the stuff that was shared were things like, man, there's things that I want to accomplish. I want to take my personal life to the next level. I want to take my professional life. I want to start this business. I'm going to focus on this project. And this gave me that aha moment, that breakthrough to push to the next level. Everyone who shared had their own unique thing. Some people were like, oh my gosh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's like, oh, where else does that show up in your life? And they'd be like, oh my gosh, yeah, in this area, I think it's going to be really difficult, but turns out it's not as bad, and it's taken those steps, and that's when we build the momentum, right? Each step we take, we build those little confidence muscles. So this is a great way, and as when I shared with Tony, when I talked to him about it, I said, look, this is a great way to get people really focused on next steps and have the momentum, because they're already thinking. Oftentimes we go to an event like this, we'll have a great conversation, have all these great ideas, like yes, I'm going to do this, that, or the other thing. And then all of a sudden we get off the boat or leave the event, and then our brain starts going, well, I don't know about this, and I don't know about that, and start talking to other people who maybe don't have the same faith in you or your passion project, right? When you have this experience, you can now pull on it because you can reflect back. And then the fact that everyone recorded it, I told everyone do that so that you have that memory. You can look back at it and go, oh my gosh, I walked on broken glass, broken arrow with my neck. There's no reason why I can't make that phone call, why I can't try that new funnel, why I can't come on a show like this, start a show like this. Whatever it is that's in your heart, it's our mission, it's our goal to go out there and be sure we're supporting other people.
A generalized philosophy with an individual exposed individually to what it is that you want, which I love, because we talked about this. When you get off that boat, are you going to fall back? Are we going to forget what we learned? Remember 3 years ago we had the rubber band?
Yep. And
it was called Snap Out of It. We had these rubber bands that you put on your wrists. And if I'm going to eat a burger, I snap it. And I remember I remember my stay in ICU, and that's what that rubber band means to me. Mm-hmm. And when I snap it, I don't want to eat it no more because that hurts.
You wanted to do a different color for a different outcome, whatever, whether it was burger or whether it was behavior. But what I find is fascinating, because then you have the accountability going forward, because your mind, you can do this until one person says, no, you can't. And then those self-limiting beliefs keep coming back. But in one, you want to go forward, but then all that other noise keeps coming back.
And also, we watched the movie where they say when you sing songs, if people sing your words, they're now teaching what they've learned. And one of the things I want Tony's exposure, I want people to come forward and talk about what they've learned and teach people. Exactly. I have a few individuals at the radio station. One of them is in real bad shape. And I gave him Jeanette's. I want them to start there. I want them to meet you. And I say to them, listen, it's your journey. I'm not telling you what to do. But they're in bad shape. David also
quite a
has
few.
lost a whole lot of weight. Yeah, but I've lived. I know what the end of a pier looks like, and I know what not coming back can be like. Just the psychology. Now, Tony Robbins, I really want to ask, because he teaches a very unique way. Always has. He has a very unique way, and you were working with him. What is the one, in one sentence, what is the one most important thing you learned working with him?
Coming from the heart is key. The most important thing is that presence, coming from a place of love. Tony is, I owe my life to him in so many ways. I'm trained by him. I'm trained by the guys that trained him. And the one thing that I was so glad when I got to know him, because I had listened to him, like growing up, and all my successes in life and music and all the things I'd done were because I applied what Tony taught. When I got to meet him, he was completely congruent with everything that he ever shared. He's a big teddy bear. He's just one giant love bug, and that is his passion, is to help people, and he does it from the heart. And the reason why he's as successful as he is and why he's helped so many people is because it comes from this just place of love and appreciation. So that's something I took from him and with him, and I practice, is just coming from a place of love, no judgment. When I meet somebody, I'm looking for what's the best thing about this person, what's unique about this person, how can I enhance their essence and support them in recognizing their true awesomeness.
And being authentic. And on our next hour, I spoke with Ann about that. And I was having a conversation, and I said, you can put a camera on right now where we are in this coffee shop, and I will be exactly who I am, having this meeting with you or sitting here. And it's being congruent, being authentic always. And it's not being one person on air and one person when you're out speaking with someone, and then one person when you're behind the scenes. You have to be you, right? Because that is who
100%.
your message is, with love. And I can't believe it's already 1:45. So I want to get to Jackie Tarleton of Plant Chicks. Jackie, I'm so glad you're joining us. You're in Miami, yes?
I am in Miami, and yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm really happy to be here.
Tell us about Plant Chicks.
Plant Chicks. So my business partner, Marcia Prince, she's actually on coaching calls right now. That's why she can't join us. But Plant Chicks, we empower women to get off bad diets and onto a sustainable lifestyle. And we both came to a plant-based lifestyle from very different directions. But we both came from it from a health perspective, though. And one of the things that we talk about is helping women on their plant-based journey. And we are here to talk about plant-based lifestyles and not veganism. Veganism is ethical, so we're not here to teach you how not to wear leather or what cars to drive, but we're here to plant-inspire you into a healthier lifestyle by eating real whole plant foods in their closest to natural state. And I just want to piggyback on one thing that Doug said. So Doug and another keynote speaker, actually a lot of the keynote speakers, all of the presentations were all about experiential presentations, and it's like hands-on, so you can actually see what it's like, live it, believe it, feel it, smell it, like use all your five senses. And that's exactly how Tony created the Reboot Wellness Cruise as well, because we had our own private section, and there was plant-based and vegan foods prepared specifically for all of us. So everyone, the speakers, the attendees, everyone that came on the Reboot Wellness Cruise was able to dive in and see how amazing they could feel by eating whole food plant-based. And it wasn't even very long. You just try it for 3 days and 2 nights, and it's amazing at how different, like the vibrational level that you can change in just such a short amount of time.
Why does it change the vibrational
wellness
level?
Retreats also. We do one in Costa Rica, and one woman in 1 week dropped 50 points in her cholesterol in just 1 week. So, like Freddie, you were saying that dairy is one of the hardest things for you to give up. Dairy, cream in my coffee was actually the very last thing that I gave up personally. But there's so many different non-dairy creamers out there that are available that are so delicious and amazing. And there's so many plant-based dairy alternatives now that just make it a no-brainer and make it really, really easy. But one of the other things you talked about is how eating plants has helped you in your diabetic journey. And I think it would be amazing if we could get a ton of people with diabetes coming on this cruise and experiencing and seeing how they can normalize their blood sugars. I bet some of them would be able to get them under control in the 3 days and 2 nights that we're there by eating whole food plant-based. And when you're eating a whole food plant-based diet and you have blood sugar problems, you don't have to worry about carbohydrates when they're whole food carbohydrates. If they're processed and refined carbs, those are still not going to be good for your blood sugars. But these are things that we can dig into deeper on the Reboot Wellness Cruise or on personal coaching calls with Plant Chicks.
And this is a program that you work with?
I'm
you
sorry?
have a program put together?
Yeah, Plant Chicks, we do have different plant-based lifestyle programs that include plant-based nutrition and fitness and mindset. So it's all encompassing. It's not just one thing. And all of our programs would be safe for people with diabetes or high blood pressure or heart disease because there's no added sugar, salt, or sodium.
And let me ask you, Tony, how does it
Or oil.
change, how or why does it change the vibration? This goes to you as well. When we change the vibration, does it change our clarity of mind that we can actually make these decisions and stay with them? Is it this cycle, one without the other? Is the whole greater than the sum of the parts?
Well, first of all, the food tastes really good. So you're
Well,
not...
someone makes it for me. For me, if I'm plant-based, I've got lettuce, no tomato because it makes me sick. So I'm on down to lettuce and maybe squash soup. So I'm very limited in my plant-based.
And some hot water.
And pretty much, right? You won't even see me in about a week.
Well, like I said, the food tastes really good. So you're not missing meat. You know, you come in with these preconceived notions, you can toss those right out the window. What happens when you eat certain foods that make you sluggish, make you just want to sit on the couch, veg out? Our food was making people want to get involved in a Tai Chi session, go to that boot camp session, you know, go do yoga, play a little volleyball on the beach. You're active and you're around other active people, so you guys are vibing on that same level, and then you just keep uplifting one another that whole time throughout. Next thing you know, there's been 3 days gone and you're looking around like, I feel great. I want to do more. When's the next one? I need more love. I want to give more love.
Doug, how did you feel? Because you're not plant-based, right?
I'm not 100% plant-based, but I do my best to eat reasonably healthy. In the idea of the vibes that you're sharing, the vibrational stuff to get down that pathway, one of the things we talked about is our emotions, which is vibration, is our fuel. Right? That's what every decision we make goes filtered through our emotions. And when we feel bad, we can oftentimes make decisions that aren't as great for our ultimate outcome. The way in my program is my Freedom Hack program is about accessing your emotional fuel. And the first most important thing is our physiology, is our bodies. So if we're noticing certain foods we're eating are creating, as Tony said, that sluggishness, if we're having inflammation, that is going to affect our emotions, which is going to affect our decision making, which is going to affect the actions we take, which affects every area of our life. So we have to be very cognizant of our physiology, what's happening in our bodies. And plant-based is brilliant and obviously creating incredible things. And sometimes it's just that conversation of going, is my diet right now supporting me in creating the energy that I need? And some people actually thrive better with having meat and so forth. And I'm not, sorry, Jackie, I'm not, but they're who get that energy. And it's important that we're aware and present to what works for us. You notice the change, you're doing that. I'm sure Jackie will attest and already shared that when people make that shift, next thing you know, they have more energy. They're feeling better so they can feel better. They can have access to more love.
In every aspect of life. And I love that you have the Plant Chicks.
Yes.
I'm going to introduce you to the Tree Dudes because I'm going to tell you something. Tree Dudes. And I'm going to tell you, I see a lot of people in restaurants that are struggling just to get to a table, and their guts, they got the gut stuff not working, and they're sick and the whole nine. It also changes your mentality towards your business, towards your family, towards your grandkids if you have them, towards your cousins, towards your clients that come on the show, towards building a stage in 2 days, getting it all done and pushing, because all of a sudden you found this new birth. You have this new energy. That's why I love that you call it the Reboot Cruise, because it gives you a second chance. I never thought I was going to have a second chance, thinking or not. And I'm probably one of the most positive people you're going to meet in the world. I don't stop for nothing. But I love that you're reaching out for women, because women right now, I'm going to tell you, and you'll see what we have in here. Women have this longevity in business more than men. No knocking men. Men may be smarter. No, I'm only kidding. But I'm just saying, longevity-wise, women hang in there, and they make mistakes, and they come back. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay. If you can do this, there isn't anything you can't do. Think of it that way.
What's the first step, Jackie, if someone wants to, not vegan, but dip their toe into being plant-based?
So that is an amazing question. And the first step, if someone wants to eat more plants, and that's what the Plant Chicks is all about. Again, it's baby steps. We work with women who are plant-curious, part-time plant chicks, and plant-based pros. So people who are just like what you're describing, Dawn, people who want to eat more plants. So the first thing we recommend is try one thing and master that one thing. Maybe it's making something like a plant-based breakfast, having oatmeal with fruit and some nut butter in it. Maybe you have vegan before 6. There's so many different ways you can start. Maybe it's just adding a fruit or a vegetable or both to one meal or 2 meals a day or 3 meals a day. And just start with one simple thing, master that, and then add something else on. So bottom line, we want you to eat more plants, eat foods in their closest to natural state, because that is going to elevate your vibrational level. And have fun while you're doing it, because literally, if you're not having fun, who's going to do it? We have to have fun.
I wanted to ask some of the things that I because I couldn't go to raw vegan. I just can't eat a treat. I just can't do it. Not yet. But they sell a lot of stuff that they make, and it's not meat sauce. It's something else, so whatever it is. I don't even read it anymore. But it tastes really, really good. Is that okay? Do those things have byproducts if you're buying them from Publix? Is that a bad thing, a good thing, or somewhere in between?
Are you talking about like the Impossible Burgers, Beyond Burgers, those kinds of foods?
I just
had food innovation?
I just had the Impossible, the Disappear Burger.
Those tofu crumbles.
I had tofu. They do a chili that has tofu in it, real beans, because beans is okay, and I had it last night, and I was like, this tastes better than regular chili, because I love chili. But is that okay? Is that okay to have, even though it's being brought to you by Publix?
Right. So let me ask you a question. Tofu, it's a processed food, and one of the things that we really encourage people to do is eating foods in their closest to natural state. So we would actually recommend eating soybeans over tofu because there's less processing. And whenever you have processing, you're going to increase inflammation. Inflammation is a silent killer, and literally it can take years, even decades to build up, and then all of a sudden you have a widowmaker or a heart attack and you pass away. So you really want to try and minimize any kind of processing. And I wanted to ask one other question. When's the last time, like when you go to have a hamburger or a cheeseburger, are you eating those for health food?
I'm not, I cut all that out. I had the Impossible Burger, whatever they call that. I went to a vegan store in Tampa. It took me 3 hours to find one, but I went to a vegan store in Tampa, and they had this patty, and the guy explained to me what it was, and it comes with a whole stack of pickles and, things that I normally don't eat. I put it in there, lettuce, tomato, the whole nine. My goodness gracious, it was delicious, but it was plant-based. Now, is that healthy? Because it's still a burger.
Yes, this is the number one question. I love getting this question. But literally, when's the last time you went to have a hamburger or a cheeseburger and thought it was healthy? The same thing when you have a plant-based Impossible Whopper or Beyond Burger. These are not health foods. They're transition foods because they literally taste like the real deal. So these are good for those people who are wanting to cut out some meat, but they're not ready to give up some of that, like the hamburgers or sausages.
So what do I eat then?
So a couple things with these, like Impossible Whoppers, Beyond Burgers, there is no cholesterol in them. So in that respect, they're healthier for you. And there's no harm to animals or no harm to the environment. So in that regard, they're good, but by no means are they a health food. So if you're going to have them occasionally, maybe once a month. It's not something that you want to have every week. But enjoy it. Again, have fun while you're eating it. Enjoy it until the next time that you eat one.
So I should have like I don't know, what do I have? Broccoli burger?
That's what I'm telling you. I'm of no help because How do people find your book or your information so we can get some ideas on what to do, where to start, and what we should be eating?
You can find us on Plant Chicks. We're on Facebook, all social media, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, but Plant Chicks, PLANTCHICS. There's no K in Plant Chicks because we're plant chic from the beach to the street.
The plant chic
And
from
you
me
can
to
also,
the street.
for the women, we have our women-only group on Facebook, Plant Chicks Tribe, and we invite you to join, even if you're not plant-based. If you're just interested in eating more plants, come request to join.
Fantastic. And Doug, how do people find you, your next seminar, where you're going to be?
So my website is revolutionarygrowth.com, and you can find me on Facebook, Doug McGurk, D-U-G, M-C-G-U-I-R-K, and then my page is with my wife, Doug and Heidi's Revolutionary Growth. My wife is also a speaker, coach, author, and she works with probably not the women who are plant-based, but who are getting off of the dysfunction train and working with empowering women and men as well. She's brilliant. So check her out on that page, Doug and Heidi's Revolutionary Growth.
And are you speaking anywhere soon?
We are in the process of putting something together. I'll have more information on it. It's going to be a big deal. So I've backed off my focus. I speak at events like Tony's,
Okay.
and I'll do things like that. Our event coming up, we don't have the date yet, but it'll be next winter or spring, and we'll share more about it, but it's going to be called Recovery Revolution, and it's going to be a star-studded 3-day event that will be supporting people in recovery, curious about recovery, but a life worth being sober for, but from we're revolutionizing that conversation.
Fantastic.
And
All right,
it's gonna
stay
be
tuned
pretty
for
big.
more on
Yeah,
that.
that's going to be good.
And Tony, you have a special deal you want to
Yes.
put out before we head to commercial?
So the retail price of the Reboot Cruise is going to increase as of February 1st. And until then, forget the current retail price, but I'm going to offer a discount to all Brooklyn Cafe TV followers.
Okay.
If you go to rebootcruise.com, I'll have this link up probably in about an hour, and you hit the coupon code Brooklyn Cafe TV. You will be given 10% off of the current retail price before February 1st for the June 20th through the 22nd cruise.
And what is the current retail price?
Current retail price is $525.
Oh, it's staying the same right now.
It's right now $525. They're going to get 10% off the current retail price.
Nice.
The retail price is increasing February 1st.
What
So
ship?
they
Same
got-
ship?
Same ship, same time, same weekend.
And you need to bring a converter with you? Is that what you need to do?
They have them.
She did. They had it. They had to
That's a
look for
side
one.
story. That's a
They got
side
it.
story.
They got it, but they had to
We're
look for
good.
one.
All right, check out rebootcruise.com. Put in coupon code Brooklyn Cafe TV. Book it now. 10% off. Refundable?
It's refundable up until a certain point.
All right, so right now we're only in January. So book it now, save the date, and we'll worry about future in the future. But hopefully everything clears up and everything will be great. There's so many incredible speakers. It is at a level that it just takes everything to a whole nother level. And dip your toe in, take a step, and maybe you don't have to change the creamer in your milk right away.
Or just
But-
come and get more information if you're not comfortable. Yeah, it took me a while to get comfortable. There's a lot of information out there, a lot
one
of
step
stories.
at a time.
One step at a time. Don't be afraid to make a change. It may just save your life.
All right, we're going to go to commercial break. When we come back, actually speaking with Ann's going to be joining us. Our number is 888-994-4995. Caring is sharing, so please share it out, and we will be right back.
You have a business you want to share, ideas you want to be heard, and events you want to be known, then amp them up on Amp It Up, our new online radio station. We want your voice to be heard, so spread the word on Amp It Up. Contact us at 866-224-5600 5422 for more information. Let's amp it up.
Sometimes you need to shake things up a bit. To be a little adventurous, to make your meals pop. Don Pablo Coffee Growers and Roasters has that special ingredient. That little bit of adventure in a bottle to take your dinner to the next level. So take a leap and try one of Don Pablo's fresh roasted specialty coffee meat rubs on your beef, chicken, or pork. You'll never go back to boring again. Go ahead, rub it on your meat.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff, your branding specialist with Promo Stuff For You. So we're entering the new year. By now everybody has gotten their corporate gift, so this time of year generally is quiet with the exception of marketing departments trying to figure out what they're going to do for 2020. So it's really important that a company figures out and does proper planning throughout the year as to what type of marketing they want to do. At Promo Stuff For You, I love being able to sit down with a client and figuring exactly what they want to do, when they want to do it, and time it with the various events that they might have coming up.
Sexy, seductive, and beautiful. Looking for a professional and talented photographer? Danielle Boujon specializes in capturing flirtatious and tasteful images for yourself or your partner. Located in South Florida, Danielle really knows how to bring out your inner beauty on a shoot. Visit her website at www.daniellebuljan.com or call her at 561-305-2241 to capture your most desirable moments.
Oh, Ann loves that bell.
And we're back.
Are we sponsoring State Farm now?
That's what everyone asks us. That's why we have to put our stickers on.
Oh, you know what I was thinking? I was going to make stickers.
I have them. They're in the back.
Oh, okay.
I think the sticker should be put on there.
We have stickers thanks to our sticker shop
Handcuff.
girl. Yes.
Handcuff.
So
And
we
it's
have
funny,
stickers.
we call her Handcuffs, long story. She comes in here, she says, you remember who this is? I can't remember her name, but I know her nickname is Handcuff.
Handcuff Jamie, yes. Sticker
Handcuff
Shop
Jamie.
Girl has our stick. Actually, we have them, so we're going to put them out because we were a little lax on time. Our coffee cup should be branded, all of that. I know about branding, so we're going to put that in place. And yes, thank you for joining us. Our last hour of Wonderful Wednesday was truly spectacular because we talked about the follow-through on the Wellness Reboot Cruise, and it is coming back on June 20th through 22nd, leaving from the port of Palm Beach. And there is a special promotion. The current price right now is $525. It will go up in June. If you book it now, you will get 10% off of that booking price. All you have to do is go to rebootcruise.com. Coupon code is Brooklyn Cafe TV. Get 10% off. And as of right now, yes, it is refundable. Going forward, we'll give you the deadline of when it won't be. But right now, we're only in January. You've got 6 months.
I
Plan
think
it.
February 1st it goes up.
The price does,
The
yes.
price.
Plan it, save the date, book it, because what is happening and the health, wellness, mental clarity, just it's spectacular what's going on, the accountability.
Just
so
come
many
and walk
things.
on glass, baby.
I got a lot of questions, but I'm going to save them because, you know, and I'm actually going to save them for Ann. But we talked a lot about authenticity and being who you are, not only for us when we're on the air, but when we're out in the community, when you're out around town, who you are at home, who you are when you show up. It's about being you always, right? You're being authentically truthful and being
Tony
honest.
Robbins. Tony Robbins is a proponent to that. And the gentleman that was just here was trained under
Doug
Tony.
McGurk, and really, really amazing. You can
Talk
follow
about-
him at revolutionarygrowth.com. And of course, we had Jackie with Plant Chic. Plant Chic, she calls it. From chic, street to chic, chic to meat. I don't know. Chick,
It's going to be Plant Chick versus Tree Dudes.
Plant Chic versus Tree Dudes.
That's right, baby. We're going to take it on.
Is that what you're gonna? Yeah, you and your paint.
You have nail polish removal?
No, I don't.
Wait, is Tree Dudes a company you're starting?
Yeah.
Oh, I like
just
it.
made it up.
Dude.
That's pretty good, though.
That's a pretty good name.
Tree Dudes. And it's going to be featured on our first, and you're going to lead us the deal here on Fred X.
On Fred X?
Fred X is coming, baby. Fred X is going to be staged out with food and everything, a jazz play, the whole night. We're gonna teach people what they know from their business firsthand from the best.
Or can we teach them what they don't know, too?
You can do that, too.
I love
Yes.
that.
I need
People-
nail polish remover.
But
I have to
know
learn
I
how to
don't
use a
have
glove.
that.
I think we incorporate what we do know, what we think we know, going forward. Sometimes what I want to say, and I talked to Ann about this a little bit earlier this week. We're actually speaking with Ann. We've got Ann Dector joining us, speaker, author, concierge life coach.
Yeah, working with very much so can't even say
Visionary?
can we say that word?
Visionary?
Visionary entrepreneurs who are really impact driven, who are stalled by their fears. And how do they move forward? How do they regain that momentum? Because we live in a world that there's a lot to fear today. And when people get clarity, right? When they get clear and clarity, then they're able to move forward again. So, been working a lot with that lately. That's the message. That's what's coming up.
Let's give out your email at the beginning.
goodtobetter2020@gmail.com.
You can always reach Ann there.
And it's funny because people, we just had Roots and Wings drop by because they want us to do something with them about giving out T-shirts and everything else. But for the last 2 weeks, or since you were here last Wednesday, a lot of people have come on this set. And because of you, I asked the number one question for
Which
2020.
is?
Are you the best at what you do? Now,
I like that.
half of everybody will say, there's always room for improvement. And I said, but that's not the question. But I have you here. You know how you have the two-shoulder question that you talk the good, the
The
bad?
good guy and the bad guy?
And then the middle is the ugly, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good, the bad, and the ugly, yeah.
I always have that in because I want to hear what their answer is. The answer isn't the
What
important
do they
thing.
say? I'm interested.
What would you say?
What?
What would you say? Are you the best at what you do?
No. I am the best at what I am in this moment at this time. And each day that I'm alive and breathing, there's an opportunity for more.
That's
Well,
kind of
for
like
the-
a yes.
Yeah, but the question isn't, can you do more? The question is, are you the best at what you do?
Yes.
Right. And you know what?
Yeah,
And
there's
there
your
you have it.
answer.
Yes.
And there you have it.
Yes,
That's what
I
I'm
am.
looking for. Because
Yes,
the
I
one,
am.
now, fear, they hide.
Ooh, that was hard to say. Yes, I am.
And you are. And there's nobody like what you do. There's nobody. And there was a gentleman that I got upset at on the air.
Yeah, that's what
I got upset. And I got upset because
What does
God,
that look like, Dawn?
it ain't pretty.
Actually,
No.
Ann, let
Yes,
me tell you what
tell
that
me
looked
what
like.
that looked like. I'm really.
Tell me.
Actually, it
Should I
didn't-
push over towards Evelyn
No,
a little bit?
No, come back.
You know how we talked about delivery the other day? Mm-hmm. I didn't realize Freddie was upset with the guest. I thought Freddie was encouraging him and promoting what he was saying.
Egging him on?
No, not at all. He was more asking more questions to get more information. I did not know he was upset by the answers until later on that evening. So your delivery on it was spectacular because all I thought is that you were encouraging the conversation.
Well, I didn't want to embarrass him or anything.
But we talked about the delivery, right? So whereas you felt upset with it, no one, and even now, if I rewatch that film, I would not know you were upset with that situation.
I was
at
very
all.
upset. You know, sometimes God takes his finger and he touches you with his fingertip.
Why the pinky?
Well, I don't know. It's just, it's a metaphor.
Why the
I just had a
pinky?
guy walking on glass. Just work with me.
Just give me that finger.
So I can't do that. So this guy was touched by the pinky of God, and he sings like an angel. Sings tremendous. And I asked him, and he said no, because I was going to ask you this question. Fear sometimes is hidden by saying the words of humbleness. Well, I'm okay, and they become humble and shy, and they frizzle up into a raisin. But that isn't the answer. So I said to this guy, how are you ever going to be successful if you keep shriveling up and moving back and giving, because this thing with the universe, yeah, I understand all that. And this is one of the problems I have with
the universe.
I have
With the
problems.
universe?
I have
What?
problems with people saying, what's the word? When you
Boundaries?
boundaries, I have a problem with.
Stupid, you have a problem with.
I can't stand that word. I had a lady who questioned me the other day, and she says, what do you believe in?" And I believe in catching up.
Oh, that, yes.
And
Manifestation.
Manifestation, I don't believe it. I believe in catching up. And again, you were sitting right there when I was talking to this guy.
I was here on the set?
No.
You were in my head.
Oh, I was in
Because one of the things that I have to, and I give Anne a hard time. Yes, people have written to me that I give you a hard time, but I do.
They
Because
have?
You have. Oh, you'd be surprised. People always tell me I'm giving
But-
Anne a hard time, but I do it on purpose.
Thank you.
Just so that you understand that, I am a
This
book.
is the first time hearing this.
I am,
by the way.
well, I think I
I know-
want
I
to
know
deliver
nothing.
this because I want you to understand where I'm coming from. I am a firm believer in spirit. I am a firm believer in the word, in the teachings that you have. And I was taught that the best answer to any question is the best question asked. If you give somebody the ability to answer a
I
question,
am not following Freddie today
if you give
all.
somebody the ability to answer their own question,
Yes.
you will find the best answer, right? Now, you can't.
Wait. Got to clarify. So you're saying that if people come to an answer by themselves as opposed to being spoon-fed it, that is the best answer.
Right, because it's coming from them.
Yes, and they're owning it. So, oh my God, Freddie, we agree.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with everything
we
you
agree.
say. But do you
Oh my
know?
God.
But you know why I give you such a hard time? Because I want the world to understand that what they're thinking may not be what I agree on, but I'm going to voice them so that you can answer it. And you're
So-
giving them an opportunity to see how it is on the other side.
Look, Freddie, I'm not afraid to be bold and brave.
I'm not saying you're not.
And I don't think shriveling up into a raisin is the answer to anything worthwhile in life.
Yes, but that was my perspective, not his. You
He
gotta
didn't
understand.
think he was a raisin?
Not at all. He thought he was giving thanks that everything was going on around him to other things. And I said to him, how do you want to be successful? And again, that's a
So your
measurement.
perception of him was that he was a shriveled raisin?
My perception of him was that he didn't say to me, I am the best. Let's go on.
So
Let's
he
move
didn't
on."
own his whatever.
His talent.
His
His
gifts,
gift.
his talents. So, okay, got to reorient here. So this week, we're talking about some incredible stuff. We're talking about being able to view our life through the lens of compassion and love and self-worth. That's what's going on this week. And I think it's probably some of the hardest things is to lead with compassion and love. Yes or no?
Why do you think it's hard?
I feel like it's hard if it comes from a place where you don't love yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then how are you able to be compassionate? How are you able to, what else?
Self-love.
Self-love, self-worth.
Yeah, like I feel like when you
compassion.
find happiness within yourself, that's where you can portray happiness with others.
Let me ask you this question. When you hear me say this statement, what does it bring to mind? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Love your neighbor as you would love to yourself.
Yes, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. What imagery does that bring up for you?
It's like love the person, like it could be a stranger, whatever. Love people the way you would love yourself and be treated, and the way you would. I don't know how to put this.
See, this is one of the hardest concepts of humanity.
Well,
Love thy
my neighbor
and-
owes me
As
$50,
you love
so I
yourself.
guess I'm
You
going
want
to
to
let him
treat
do it.
others the way you
Treat
want to be
yourself.
treated. So yeah, with compassion
so
and
wait.
love.
So then we have people who want to be treated like shriveled raisins, as per Freddie, and then we have people who have self-worth. So it's not just a mechanism of treat others as you would treat yourself. So what if you wake up one morning and you're really down on yourself and you're treating yourself really bad? Would you go out into the world and treat others that way?
No.
But we do.
But why would you get
But a lot
treat
of the
yourself
time
bad
it
is
could be
my
our
first
ego,
question.
you know?
Why
A
are we
lot of the
treating?
time it's ego based, like, I don't know. Like, the ego is just like this other little thing in us that is just like, sometimes it tells us the things that we don't want to hear about ourselves.
Right. But still, you wake up in the morning, and unless you have self-control, and unless your lens through which you're seeing your life, the day, is one of, I truly want to be the best I can be, and I'm going to be led through my life with this vision of compassion and love thy neighbor, you got to pull yourself back in and stop that bad guy. How many times do I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I don't want to roll out of bed? It's going to be one of those days. We all have those days,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it happens.
And I'm thinking, because I was actually thinking about this the other day, love thy neighbor as thyself. Sometimes I think, this is probably what you're saying, we love our neighbor more than we love ourselves.
That's true too.
But why do we do that?
Because we don't love ourselves enough. We feel we give, and as women and men, we give and give. We give to our children, we give to our partners.
But why do we give so much? What are we getting in return?
But that's human. That's part. I feel like it's part of human nature.
Some people don't want anything in return.
We just, right.
It's
Except
hard.
sympathy.
Sometimes it's hard to be selfish with our like.
I'm not talking about that, though. On a basic elemental level, and we're going to get back to that, I want to honor what you're saying, is the fact that when we wake up in the morning, and sometimes it's so much easier to give to others when we're not feeling so good about ourselves, because what happens is that we get a goodie back. If people see that we're so nice and we're so giving, you know, oh, she's so nice. She's so
Oh, yeah,
great.
they can take
She's,
advantage,
you know, and we need those compliments sometime to fill us up, because we can't fill ourselves up.
You think that's why people do it? I think, well,
there are many
I
different
don't know.
reasons why people
I
do
just
anything.
do to do. I don't do to get back. I just do to do. But if you don't love yourself enough to give yourself that same, come on, you can do it. You've been vegan for 3 weeks. That's amazing.
Why?
I'm just saying.
You go to the gym every day. I think that's amazing.
If I say that to you, I'm loving every aspect of what you're doing. But I may feel like yuck inside. But I'm telling you, I think for you that's amazing. And then we go and we beat ourselves up because we're not doing what we should be doing in our own lives.
Well, and we don't want to know. We're afraid, because to step in, we're afraid. Back to that fear again.
Back to fear.
We're
It's a
afraid.
fear.
And so what are we afraid of? We're afraid of, I think we're afraid of 3 things. And these are the 3 things that I address when I'm working with, now why do I say with visionaries? You know, most people, they don't know what they don't know, and sometimes they're sleepwalking through life. So what we really want to
Sometimes
do...
it's better that way, isn't it? I'm kidding.
They're on autopilot. I call it
Autopilot, that's great. I call it zombie, but autopilot is just as good. It's even better. And then to wake up is painful. To wake up to realities that maybe, you know, maybe you're overweight. That's on the physical level. On the more personal level, maybe you don't know how to network. You're shy. You don't like to go out there and connect. Your comfort zone is being at home in front of the TV, or you have to push yourself out of your comfort zone. And that hurts.
We talked about that yesterday when Sandra
That
was here,
hurts.
right? Growth comes when you get out of your comfort zone and you take that next step.
Growth also happens when you accept failure. You like.
Go, girl.
Not.
Do you know what this means?
No.
This is a high five.
Oh. I thought she was like. I was like, wait, what?
She thought she was going to hit her.
She was like, wait, stop there. I'm like, okay.
Is that okay?
She's
Is that
like,
okay?
yeah.
You know what that
If you
is?
throw it too much in the face, I think people can interpret it differently.
You know, there's
Yeah.
there's also the unfortunate thing that people overthink things. You know, you can pour, and my father taught me this, you can pour a cup of coffee in your left hand, or you can pour a cup of coffee in your right hand, and neither one of those signifies the same cup of coffee, because we overthink it. And sometimes we
looked
take
at me,
ourselves,
yeah.
yes I do, and we take ourselves to another level that doesn't exist.
What
But that's all in the mind.
Well, it ain't in your feet, baby. I know it's in your mind.
But it's. I read this book called The Dark Night of the Soul. It's by Michael Madden, something like that.
I think I read
And he
that.
talks about
You
how
know Steve Madden, right?
or Maiden. I'm really bad with names, but he talks about how we all go through this kind of dark night of ourselves. Like we are going through this. It's like the dark night of the soul is like depression, stress, anxiety. Like you're going through all this, and it's like you're like in a tunnel, and you're in this darkness, and you can't see the light. But it's part of the process of growth, and it's part what you have to go through in order to get to that light. So it could be long, it could be months, years, but it's like it's failing, and you have to just like, I think all of it in the foundation of like faith is just having faith at the end of the day, because we're all on this like earth, like no one knows half the time what's going on. So it's just like having faith on like, I don't know what tomorrow is gonna bring, but like I have to stay positive.
So that's yes, and yes. And the next step is the actual, so that's up here in our heads, right? I have to stay positive. It's like a mental game, right? I have to stay positive. I have to fight the negative self-talk. But then in the physical reality, because we live in two worlds, in the physical reality, we have to take the necessary steps and actions to move ourselves forward. Because sitting on the fence is the worst place in the world to be. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Agree
Yeah.
or disagree?
And we talked about this earlier in the week, is that taking that first step, and when you feel that, this is the word Freddie doesn't like, we talked about it yesterday, women who feel broken, or in that dark night, that dark space, whatever you want to call that space, you sit in until you're ready to move out of it.
You take a leap of faith. There's this quote I really like that says, when you live your life with uncertainty, it opens up a world of possibility.
Oh, I like that.
So it's like living like an unknown. Like you're trying your best, and like everything is uncertain in the future. Like no one can predict the future. You can only look back in the past. But it's just
can
like
you create your future.
You create your future, yeah. So it's just having that faith, like just like wherever I'm going and wherever I'm trying to do my best is where I feel like that can bring me closer to where I want to go.
The energy of the week talks very clearly about how nothing is random. We have to be very conscious of our vision and where we want to go.
Yeah.
We have to be so conscious of it to wake up in the morning and have a vision. What is my plan today? What is my purpose? What is my mission? And for everybody, that purpose and mission is completely different. For some people, it's to be the best mom they can be. For some people, it's to be the best student they can be. And but there is an underlying, these external purposes are constantly shifting as we're moving through life, because the one thing we know about life is that it's constantly fluid. We're constantly changing. But what is the underlying vision that forces you to get out of bed in the morning? What's yours, Freddie?
My vision to get up in the morning?
What is your underlying essence, vision, mission, purpose?
Every day I get up saying, I'm going to make today better than I did yesterday.
So that's what drives Freddie.
Moving forward.
That drives him moving forward.
I love it. I love what I do. I'm the best at what I do. Now, I have a question for you, Ann. People, I ask them all the time, do you love yourself? And they always say yes because they're afraid to say no.
Of course they are.
Okay. So if God were to test you and you lost your job and your car got destroyed and a hit and run downstairs parked and your parakeet died and your parents are in the hospital both at the same time and your friend comes next door, knocks on the door and says, I'm really depressed. I don't think I want to be alone. I may end up hurting myself. Do you put everything aside in your life to help somebody else?
Well, that's a great question. And one of the greatest things we can do is love, care, and share with our fellow human beings. Again, seeing through that lens of love thy neighbor as thyself. So I'm going to answer it, Freddie, not in a yes or no. I'm going to answer it more in a circular. I'm going to tell a story. There have been so many times that people have called me and asked me if I can cook a meal for a member of my community who just lost a family member, God forbid, or there's a new birth in the family, or can I do carpool, and my workload is 100% max. If I can't do it, there are times, this is where you have to use discernment. There are times when I say, thank you for the opportunity, but I'm going to have to say no today. Or there are other times where I've even taken someone in the car with me who's been in that state and they've done carpool with me just so I can keep my eye on them. But you can always connect someone. You can be a connector. You don't always have to do it yourself, but you can be a connector. You can be a source of that person knowing that you'll always be there for them, but you don't have to do the work yourself. And there's also something else I find very interesting. There's this expression, and I think some people, I don't know if they like this expression or not, but God doesn't give you what you can handle. Mm-hmm. So I think that opens up a huge can of worms. I don't think I want to go there.
God does or doesn't?
Does.
God gives you what you can handle.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, or doesn't give you what you can handle in the
Yeah.
negative. So I don't think I've had that type of challenge cross my desk that I wasn't able to find a solution for. So,
That's interesting.
yeah.
I think I mentioned it before. Remember, I said my mom said to me that there's a solution for everything minus death. So,
Yeah.
there's always a solution.
And
There's
there may
always
be a
break
solution
there.
to that yet, too.
But when you
never know.
lead with, again, we come back to the vision and the energy of the week. If you lead this with love thy neighbor as thyself, then the solution comes. We've been talking for the past couple of months that life is a war. We're going to war. Every day you wake up and it's a war. And I think some people have a real issue with that.
I think that's a perspective.
It's a perspective.
You mean you issue with the word war?
Warrior?
Or like if they're leading life. To me, well, from my opinion, I feel like it's a perspective.
Well, let me lead you down a path and then we'll debate.
Okay.
So the path I'm leading us down is the fact that every day we wake up, we have to take action and do something. It's not a passive existence. It's an active existence. So I like to say it in my way because I happen to be really raw and on top of things, and I like to go to war. I think, however, with these concepts, because they're so difficult to some people, that by being very strong about them and being very raw about them and real about them, that you make a point. So the point is that I'm not sugarcoating it. Life's a war. Every day we wake up and we got to take an action. And some of those actions we're going to take, we're not going to be so happy about.
Okay, I see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay,
I see what you're
good.
saying.
Another high five? Lower, okay.
A low five.
A low five. I did it low. So in that state, if you go to war with the love thy neighbor as thyself as the head chariot in front of you, all the solutions will work out in a way that are not chaotic and painful. And so incredible challenge crosses your desk. Painful. How can I do this in a way that I am leading with loving and caring? How can I do this in a way that I'm leading with loving and caring? And sometimes, actually most of the time, just asking that question opens up, as you mentioned before, opens up the possible opportunities.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Is it how we react to a situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all about, it's just every day you wake up and everything that hits you, how can I be a loving, caring, sharing creator? How can I do this as a loving, caring, sharing creator? That's your filter. Those are, I wish we can have glasses, the loving, caring, sharing creator glasses, because that's the beginning.
Don't you wish that instead of in our society when we're bombarded with advertisement and telling you buy this and that, it was instead encouragement to everyday life? On the billboard, it would be you got this, or something that inspires you and just keeps you going. Because
I got it. It's amazing.
Why can't we?
Yeah, why can't we? But it's just not the world we live in.
Well, what if we create it? Can we create that world?
We can try creating it.
I don't like the word try.
We can attempt to create. I
don't like the word attempt.
How about we do it?
We do it.
We do it as in ourselves, but I'm saying when it comes to big corporations and the way the world is structured on top,
But I think it starts with you. You and I talked about this yesterday, and you and each one of us, and this place that we sit. It started with us, and now it's about you. And it's this platform that everyone can come and share. And when we get back from a commercial break, I want to ask Anna a question. What would you talk about in your first Fred Talk? FredX.
But before we go to commercial break, I have the question of the day.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Freddie.
Is it okay to give an atheist a Christmas present?
Oh my gosh, you're asking me that question?
I'm asking everybody that question.
An atheist a Christmas
present?
present?
So when we come back, we'll...
Does it have to be a Christmas present?
But do you understand
a
Christmas? But do you understand what a Christmas present is?
Yes.
You weren't at our
and
coffee,
symbolizes
so
Christ.
Get out of my head.
I'm just saying.
Well,
how about a question back at you? I would give the present based on how is this going to be the most loving, caring, sharing representation.
It doesn't matter, right?
No.
I know, but
I would ask that question first, Freddie.
But
giving him a Christmas present might be offensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's not offensive.
Well, it might be.
He can say no, thank you.
But to him.
I would offer him a holiday present, making it as most representing
You're
his
so
beliefs.
controversial.
Okay, then let me ask you a different question. Is it okay to ask the atheist to do the blessing at Thanksgiving?
No, because
Time out. I had to know. What if this kid came back from war, lost both limbs, and he's still alive? Is it okay? And now we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Very fast.
Then after, maybe he'll believe in something.
Because maybe it's about the gratitude.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
You have a business you want to share, ideas you want to be heard, and events you want to be known, then amp them up on Amp It Up, our new online radio station. We want your voice to be heard, so spread the word on Amp It Up. Contact us at 866-224-5422 for more information. Let's amp it up.
If a tree falls in the woods and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound? Have you ever felt that your voice goes unheard? And you think that you can make a difference if only someone would just listen? It's time for women in business to have a place to step into your power, a platform to embrace your hopes, dreams, and your visions, a voice to heal and restore. Your voice can make a difference. We have the platform to share your story and let your voice be heard. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself the chance to be heard and shine bright. Contact New Dawn Media by texting CAFE to 80800. That's CAFE to 80800.
Are you here to be good? Or are you here to be great? Outstanding? Hi, my name is Anne Shoshana Dector, and I am an author, motivational speaker, and leadership educator. I share with individuals and businesses the proven tools necessary so that you can make friends with challenges and use them as opportunities to grow from good to better, so you can have it all. Unified, supportive, and creative corporate communities, financial abundance, and a clear mission-driven purpose. Contact me at goodtobetter2020@gmail.com. Grow from good to better in 2020. Work with me individually, or ask me to speak at your next event. goodtobetter2020@gmail.com.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we are back at the Brooklyn Cafe Show. I just have to tell you, I am so proud of these girls on our crew because
I know you've been hanging out with them for 2 days.
I got to tell you,
Mia, you weren't here yesterday, right? Okay, Mia wasn't here.
what they have brought in such a short period of time and have learned, and we threw them into this, and they got it. And you threw Mia into something else, and she got it. And Eva's back, and she goes, "Is there anything else?" She leaves yesterday with a list of 5 things. I said, "I think you've got enough to start with for now. I can always give you more." But I'm so proud of you girls because you talk about leveling up and going and doing it. They're doing it. And, girls in production, and is there a double standard? I don't know.
Triple standard.
Girls in production, when I went to school, it was you're only in front of the camera. And now these girls, you happen to be in front, but you all
When you
do.
went to school.
When I went to school for communications, we didn't
For
learn
what?
behind
Communications?
Did she say
I don't know.
communications?
Communications.
I thought I saw a rubber bat.
Communication.
See that you say that because now what we learn is we're multimedia journalists, so they want us production. They want us writing scripts. They want us writing articles. They want us doing lights, camera, action, and on top of that, go host a show because it's a one-man show. That's really what they're teaching us, and they're driving it home that you
In school, they're teaching
school,
you?
they're
Did
like-
you tell me you've already been on the air?
Yeah, because at school it's more radio, so we do. Me and Ev are on South Florida Journal, and so that's not live stream though. So we're in the studio, we're editing sound bites, we're putting together a 30-minute segment, but we have the luxury of going back and editing out those editing out those uncomfortable things. But on here, it's unscripted. You know, it's raw, and if you say the wrong thing, let's just keep it rolling. So that's the difference between the two, I think. And I feel like it's a lot more pressure here just because I know, oh no, I can't edit that embarrassing thing.
It is. That's why the NBC and them
Yeah.
people, they don't put it live.
You know,
on
I
the
never
air.
walked into our radio room at school. And even when I worked at the TV station, they gave all the guys the editing stuff, all of it.
What school did you go
But
to?
how cool is this? Because you're really like a jack of all trades. It takes a very special person to be able to do that. So I really hope you're patting yourself on the back and acknowledging that, because a lot of us come to this planet with a lot of gifts, and some of us are more able to multitask and to do many different things, and some of us are just, my husband's a doctor, that's it.
You mean God's
not that that's it, but
God's fingertip, man.
Meaning
God touches you
with your gift.
With the gift. You know, it's funny. Today I saw something. I've been doing this with the kids now, 4 years. Today I learned something new. I saw something for the first time. Actually, I learned 2 things. Mia the other day jumped back there, not knowing anything. It was a second visit here, and she's jumping back there, helping DJ with music and this and this and that. And I was watching, and I was amazed. Usually when you come into an internship, you sort of sit and you sort of watch, you know? And here she goes, right? Today I asked Mia to do a voiceover. First time, right? And she does this voiceover, and I went out to paint some stuff, and I come back, and the other B, which I don't know her name, B is directing the commercial, and she's telling her this is what I want, and she's saying everything that I would have said. So I stopped talking.
Oh, sorry.
I was so happy because now what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the ladies, because in this business there's a lot of male voices. Not too many female voices doing commercial for radio.
You know, it's also true that in the speaking business, which I'm also part of, is that there are so few women speakers.
Yes.
So, could you imagine?
But do you know why?
On the speaking circuit, it's all dominated by men.
Is that true?
That is a statistic.
It's a fact.
It's
Really?
a fact.
Because it's always
it makes
been...
me so upset.
See, I'm so swayed by who we work with because to me, we have so many women speakers. And with that in mind, yesterday Sandra did an event here for United Latinas, and she got on the stage and she gave a phenomenal presentation. So inspiring. With that, I know you're looking to go onto the speaking circuit. You're lining all of those gigs up.
Yep.
What are you going to speak about?
Well, so the main topic is going to be working with, so first of all, you have to define what your target audience is, so that you have to really know yourself, and that's what we've been talking about. You opened up with being authentic, right? So authentically, you have to know. So I know that I'm like no sugar coating. I'm out of the box. I say it the way it is, and I lead from love thy neighbor as thyself. So knowing who I am in that regard, how can I share a message that would be impactful? Because when I wake up in the morning, Freddie, like you, how can I be the best person every day so that I can impact the world, so I can heal the world? What is the message I want to say? So first, with that all in place, I can teach a whole speaking course now, right?
Yes.
That's what it takes. We got to take notes. And then I'll go out and talk about how our fears and our uncertainties prevent us from moving forward in our life. And I talk about there's 3 areas in where we really need to wake up. Number 1 is we have to acknowledge the reality that when we wake up, we have to take an action. And I call it going to war. No sugarcoating, but that's what it is. We wake up in the morning, we go to war. 2, what is the impact we want to make? So many people, when you ask them, what do you want? No clue. No idea. They think it's the car or the new purse or the whatever.
Penthouse.
The penthouse?
Yeah.
Where? In New
the
York?
beach.
On the
Pick
beach?
No, on the warm side.
Ibiza?
Yeah.
Okay,
Ibiza,
let's go for
there
it.
you go.
Ibiza. They think that's what they want, but when questioned and pushed a little bit, like I'm shoving them off the fence, then they really come to the realization that what they really want is to know, as you say, touched by God, what their gift is and how to make an impact with it.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
And then step number 3 is, what is the vision how you wake up in the morning? What leads you? What is that motivate?
Well, when you have that vision, that motivation, and in this perfect world, we get up, this is what I'm going to do today, and you go. And then life happens. Someone gets sick, your alarm goes off, your parakeet dies. But you
Who
know,
has a parakeet?
I don't know. That's why I guess it's safe to say parakeet dies.
Parakeets.
But you've got this mission. You go, this is what I want to do, and then life comes.
Yes.
And other people in your life, they come. You want to go this way, and they're bombarding you this way, and you want to go this way, or you want to go this way.
Such an amazing point out. Why?
What do we do?
So amazing, because that's life. Okay, we use the skills. That's a challenge. It's coming your way. Number 1, you have to know that you have a partner in life, that no matter how much you want to do what you want to do, when you wake up in the morning, you got to leave some wiggle room, and to know that you still want to lead with your vision. So when that family member comes and, okay, I'm leading with my vision of love thy neighbor. The parakeet dies, okay, I'm leading with the vision of love thy neighbor. And whatever it is, you will get back to what it is that you wanted to do, but you'll get back to it in a way that has so much less pain and suffering and anxiety around it, because you're staying true to your authentic vision. No matter what comes your way, you have to know that detours are going to happen.
And you say your
It's gonna
life
happen.
partner does not mean a physical life
No,
partner. We're
your
talking
higher
about
power.
a higher power.
Your
I
higher
just wanted
power.
to clarify.
Okay,
that.
so hold on. So I want
Yeah.
to ask the ladies in the studio. So you know that life is full of detours.
Detours.
Detours. So are you prepared for your detours? So do you know it's coming? Are
Isn't
you
that the
prepared?
Beatles song, The Long and Windy Road?
Long
Is it not a straight path?
and winding
That's
road.
what I think of as the Beatles song.
I'm pretty sure you think of that and 14 other things. But are you prepared? Do you feel you're prepared?
I feel like I can try my best to be prepared. I have in my calendar, if you look at my calendar, it's the craziest. There's a ton of stuff. You probably won't even be able to read it. But I always have a day or an afternoon available. So if, let's say, that hits the fan, that's the day that I'm going to take into consideration to try to do whatever. I have an emergency day
You see-
built into my weekly
same
plan.
way.
Okay, hold on.
You do
I
too?
So
want
I don't know if that
hold it.
answers
Hold,
your
I
question.
want a yes or no answer.
No, I mean, like, how can you prepare for
So it's
the
no.
unknown
Okay, hold on.
that comes to you?
Look at
You
that.
have to just.
You can prepare for the unknown.
Well,
Yeah,
hold on. Take it easy. Take it easy. The answer is no, right? Out of respect. And you are yes?
I would say yes because I have
So
an
that's
emergency
it.
plan.
It's yes.
I would say definitely yes because you have to be adaptable.
Adaptable,
Especially
love that word.
Trying to find a career, adaptability is very important. And like you guys were kind of saying, it's like God has a plan for you. Things happen for a reason. So
Right. If you're put in a position that you know there's going to be something on the other side, good, better, and different, right?
yes.
Okay. Now, let's get back to you don't know what's coming. So how do you prepare? Fair? Fair question?
Well, and I'm not like a no, but
No, I don't want peer pressure. I want you to tell me exactly
What
how
was
you
your
feel.
question?
Are you
Yeah.
prepared for the unknown? Do you feel like you're prepared for the unknown?
I mean, I can
listen.
prepare the best
Yeah,
way
no.
that I can, and
It's a
like,
yes
as she
or,
said,
yes or no.
adapt.
I don't want you to give me the story
No,
because
to
you're
be
trying
honest,
to
right
convince
now,
yourself.
in my
Fine.
view, no.
With all due respect, that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. This is not a right or wrong answer.
Anne, are you prepared for the unknown?
Yes.
Are you?
I know it's coming, and I wait, and
Yeah.
I'm
Answers
looking.
are always in a
See, but you're
But
not
it's
saying
yes.
yes or no.
Me?
Okay.
Yes,
I am.
he's
I am so
prepared.
prepared. That I'm gonna take you with me. How's that? That's how prepared I am.
You are
want
prepared.
you want to talk about being prepared for the unknown, and we've all and none of us. Well, it happens. Finding your father dead on the floor in the morning. You want to talk about the unknown?
That's not being prepared. Like,
No,
how do
I
you prepare
was.
for that?
I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, how can you?
I
be
was
prepared for that?
26 years old, and that, or 24, I can't remember, that started me on the path that brought me to where I am today. So the unknown, when, can you do that again? When, it's the fan? Is that how?
Are we allowed to say?
No.
No.
Okay,
No.
when the
No. When, the,
When this hits the fan.
this hits the fan, okay, I like that. When that hits the fan, unfortunately, and Don and I were talking about this, then and only then do we grow. Do we wake up? So those are always part of our life. But with time and experience, we realize a lot of us get these coping strategies through the school of hard knocks. But I went to start learning. I started learning with many different spiritual disciplines after this happened because I wanted to know why. I wanted to know if there was a guidebook, a rule book in place, because it seemed to me like this was going to be a common thing in my life, that the unknown was going to be the common denominator. So I didn't want to go down into the depths of despair every time. I said, I'm not doing that. Been there, done that, don't want to do that.
So that's how you prepared yourself.
And that's how I prepared myself.
Okay, that's a good exercise. So if you don't know now somebody waking up to somebody dying, that's traumatic. That's a whole different level of preparedness. I want to keep it simple because if your answer is no, then we want to make it so that the simpler things in your life right now, which
What, like the alarm goes off at 7 o'clock in the morning?
and I took a shower and ran over here.
Yes, you did.
And it is what it is, and people
But
are
here's the
people
funny
are
thing about that
following me, and I says
situation.
I don't need you to follow me. I'm going in.
Here's the
I'm
sit-
just doing it.
The funny thing about that situation, the alarm goes off at 7:15 here this morning. The alarm company calls me, and I say, send the police because I'm not there. I call you, you don't answer. I text you, you don't answer.
I was sleeping.
You were sleeping. When you finally answered, your response was, I'm going to get you got dressed and you came over. Mine was, let the police assess it. I'm not walking into this place until after they assess it. And once they do, why am I rushing? So I didn't change anything. You got dressed and came over here.
Absolutely.
Totally same situation, right? You were calm or no? Or were you upset?
I was focused
And you got
because
here.
That's
when
not,
I got here.
that's not a proper answer. She asked you a question.
Was I calm?
Yes or no?
You
I was-
rushing
I
here? I
was-
feel like maybe you
I
were
hit about
worried.
80 miles an hour. I got here in about 5 minutes.
Answer
yes.
the question.
I was calm. I was determined. So
You're not
what is that?
answering the question.
I don't know what calm means. Was I hyper because somebody broke into my place? Pretty much.
See, and I was,
So you were right.
normally I'm in a panic and I was,
Yeah, but I was
was
using
calm.
adrenaline to I'm coming in here.
and I was not.
And
I'm
doing
coming in
what,
here.
Freddie?
You find. I guess you're gonna find. I guess you're gonna find out if you're not supposed to be here. Let's put it that way.
Or,
There is no or.
yes, the or is, hit the fan.
No. There is no or. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me ask you if you're in a,
Wait.
but there is no or, Anne.
Yes, there is.
What's
To
the
you.
or?
But
The or is how you have choices, how you respond to the
yeah,
Okay.
I took my
you
choice.
could come in. Yes, you took your choice. You can come in here and put your life at risk, which is not something that I think we would like to see. Or you could have said, "I'm going to stay in the parking lot, and I'll be there when the cops
They
go
did.
in."
The cops came first.
And then when they come out,
But that
to
isn't
go-
me.
Okay, well, you know what, Freddie? You got to know yourself, and in life, if you want
I
to
do
put
know
yourself
myself.
at risk, go
I
for
do.
it.
But this is what I'm telling you. I know myself. It's like you go to Walmart and there's a shooting going on in that corner, and everybody trying to get everybody out of there. Which way you think I'm going to run? That way?
But
or this
this
way?
time you were running into the fray.
I always run.
that.
I
So-
always
so
run
as,
into it.
As the conversation continues, the police called, everything was secure. You came in, turned the alarm off, and goes MIA for 30 minutes.
Because
he?
all of my neighbors were
He
talking
was
to me.
here. I'm calling him. I'm texting
Well, it's
him.
a big place. I got to look up on
I'm
top. I
calling
got to look
him,
everywhere.
And 30 minutes later, he says, I was busy with the neighbor. But now,
Neighbor.
But now here I am thinking, you walked in, right? The police said it was secure. You said, but what if somebody came in another way and they were inside?
Right, this
and,
way,
And
that
I
way.
don't hear from you.
Dawn, you know, the last thing that I had in my head was, let me call Dawn. I came in here to do what I had to go and do.
No.
Yes.
No.
And with all due respect, yes. That is me. That is what I do.
That's okay, but you have to own that choice. That
I
you-
own it.
He owned
you,
it.
You owned it that you could have left Dawn the single proprietorship of the Brooklyn Cafe
And
TV.
you know what? If God's plan is to call for that, then that's what it is. Because I'm going to tell you something. In my life, wrong is wrong. And if you're in here and you're wrong, we're going to dance. Now, you don't have to take it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to accept it. I never run. These colors don't run. And you know
He
this.
doesn't. And we're on a countdown today of how many times he's done this to me in a week. Yeah.
And
Pretty much.
and the bottom and the
She counts too.
and the bottom line, when it's said and done, we went had 9:30 business meeting, wrote a deal, and we're right back to business. I'm just saying. Let me ask you a question. You
But
ever
you know
seen?
what? And then it goes back to what Ev said about having faith. That I had to have faith in the situation, knowing who you are and what you did because you had to do it. Faith in my partner, right? My higher partner, that everything was fine in here, and you got tied up doing whatever you did. Otherwise,
But I had.
I would have heard something else.
But
So,
the whole neighborhood,
But
when
when
I
you
found
tie
when
all
they
of
found
this
out what was going on,
together-
they all came in here with me. I wasn't alone.
but when you tie all of this together, it's our entire conversation of having faith, of knowing that there's a higher partner with me and with all of us, and knowing who you are.
Yes, but
and putting
do we-
all of this
within
together.
But do we deliberately put ourselves in harm's way?
I guess different people have different choices on that.
Let me tell you something. My sister was held up at gunpoint in Manhattan. And she came up screaming and crying. She was a mess. We didn't know what was going on. And we all ran after this guy. All of us. And he had a gun. We didn't run away. We ran after, we caught this guy. Okay?
What's
But
that
this is
what's that
always
disclaimer
been.
that we put on TV? Don't do this.
Don't
at
do
home.
it.
Yeah, don't
Listen,
do this at
don't
home.
do this at
don't
home.
do this at home. But everybody has their calling. It's
That's
like
true.
life, okay? If somebody offered you to be on NBC and do the news tonight, would you do it?
You can't think about
Would you do it?
No?
Okay, she
I
said.
don't agree with
Okay,
NBC.
okay.
Okay.
ABC,
Okay.
CBS,
yeah.
would you do it?
I would try it. Yes.
Again, it's a yes or no.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, would you guys do it? Yes? Yes?
I would sweep the floors.
And you would do it?
Yes.
Oh, because the
As long
opportunity.
I'm in the room with greatness and it has levels to grow. Put me at the bottom because
you
I'll
would
show
do it.
you. I can do it.
Yes?
Definitely.
Now, if you see somebody mugging Ann in the parking lot, do you go help her?
No, you call 911.
I'd probably.
I would go help her.
Would you go help her?
Yes.
Yes. Would you go help her?
I have a guard llama button. I would push that.
Okay.
and I
Would you go
probably
help
would-
her?
If I had like a weapon, maybe.
Okay. Would you go help her?
Sure.
I run right at the guy. And he's going to take me out or I'm going to take him out.
With a gun.
I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you something, and you got to have a certain mentality to use that weapon. And I'm betting he don't. Or she. Could be either or. And I'm going to go after him. Because if I stand back and I wait for somebody to come that never has, I've been in this position. I've lost lives doing this in front of me. So I would never go there again. So I'm going to run into the fire, not because I want to be bigger, because I don't know no better. It's just what it is. And if I'm no longer here and Dawn has to run the show, She is more than capable of doing whatever needs to be done. And she's surrounded by family, people who care about the message. Just keep delivering it. Never fear. Isn't that your message?
Yes, so you're saying that your vision of love thy neighbor as thyself, your choice
Yeah.
would be to run into the fray.
If it's to save, yes. Like, you know what happened at the Parkland shooting? You know, the coaches, the teachers, they put their life at risk, you know, for these kids.
That guy took his life, right?
Yeah, and I honestly would take a bullet if it's like for someone else not to die.
So you're no different.
Yeah, I guess
So you
not.
know what? I'm going to tie this all together.
Good.
Because when we think about it, that vision, when you wake up in the morning, are you willing to die for it? Now, what am I saying?
Good.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay.
And that is really good. Are you willing to die for your vision?
Why am I saying that? Because there have been times in my life where I have felt totally without purpose, adrift. I've had no vision.
It was that dark night.
It was that dark night, and I could not get out of bed in the morning. It felt like death. And now, I have chills all over my body as I'm saying this. And now, with this move that I'm making in my life, the message that I get to share, it gives me life.
You
That's
found
right.
your purpose.
You looked at fear and you shoot it away.
Yeah.
Same thing.
I have a question. For someone young like me who is like trying to like really figure it out, almost like I have so many things I want to do. And I know I can be very talented in a lot of things, but there's just like one thing I want to do. I've always felt like I have never been able to pursue it.
Which is?
It's just like, let's say, a little business I want to do.
Okay.
And, you know, life happened. I couldn't go to my dream school. I had to take a step back. So it's like that fear of like, what if I like, maybe I don't have time for that now, or...
I will just share this with you because I don't know the whole situation, but there is a universal truth that we need to internalize, each and every one of us, is that a righteous person falls 7 times and picks themselves back up. Stay in the game. Never give up. Go for your dream. Every failure or perceived failure is just an opportunity to take you to your next level. Everything you do takes you to the next step. If you stop, that's a living death.
Amen. How do people find you?
Good to better 2020 at gmail.com.
That's a great, and I'm going to tell you, this is what seminars are made of. I would love to invite FAU, the millennials, I love to bring them in here because you know something, at the end of the day, it's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You're going to be all right.
You
But
just-
believe in that quarter.
I on my class today, our professor
in it.
put the Steve Jobs commencement speech
that
from
was
2005.
Oh, it's such an amazing
Absolutely,
speech.
like I've watched it like
Mind-blowing.
3 times, and
I-
he talks about
He talks about just this, right? That if you don't live the life you are destined to live, it's like a living death. I remember that. That
Yes.
speech impacted me.
and not to live in dogma, not to live in the opinions of others. And he says the one thing we have in common is we're all gonna die.
Then you
Each
have
and
all
one
the,
of us.
Then you have all the
So
answers. you
go
need.
doing, and he says, stay hungry, stay foolish, and just believe in yourself.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel like, yeah, like now I'm like, I have to keep staying hungry. I see my vision, and I just have to keep going.
Yeah. And there are tools, though, to help you along the way to deal with the fear, to deal with the challenges. There is so much wisdom out there that can help you stay focused and to mitigate and reduce a lot of that uncertainty and pain and chaos of what's going on. So know that there is that out there, but you're still going to have to go through it to the other side.
It's keep having faith. I keep telling
I
myself
wrote
faith.
something in the Cafe Press, and I want everybody to read it. I said you should always shoot for the moon and be happy when you land on the stars because small steps are the foundation of success.
I got it the other way
Yes.
around. Shoot for the stars and you're going to land on the moon is okay.
Well, I thought the moon was higher than the
Okay.
stars. Well, whichever way you do it,
Whichever
be
way's
happy.
just
with
You know,
the-
stars are bigger than the moon.
Well, okay, so we'll change it around. But whatever way you look at
Just
it, the
shoot
small
for
steps.
greatness.
Yeah, shoot for
Yes.
greatness.
But let me ask you,
Sure,
the
try
important
and
thing
keep
about
the
that is to really believe it, right?
and really believe it. If
That's
you
right.
want it in your core so bad,
Yeah,
you
law
have
of
to obsess
attraction.
about your dream of want it so bad that
I know.
it's
But the
that
caveat,
you're going to end up with it.
just
Yeah.
remember, you can want that dream so bad, but make sure that that dream, you're seeing it through the lens of love thy neighbor as thyself. Because people don't buy what you sell,
If it's not true.
they buy your vision.
True
And
that.
on that, I do want to, when we go off air, we're going to pick a date. You're going to go into the New Dawn Theater. We're going to do a seminar, talk, whatever you want to call it.
Happy dance?
You can do a happy dance on the stage, but we're going to invite your FAU group. I want you to invite your
I
people.
love
We'll do a
working
general.
with millennials. I'm doing right now. I do a lot of marriage counseling. Unfortunately, unfortunately because they're
Are they millennials?
yes, 30-year-olds who are married, just married, and because they don't understand that they have to fight for their happiness, to fight for their connection, for whatever reasons, like bringing them back together and reconnecting them with what their visions are and how they can support one another to be the best version of themselves, really explaining what it means to be in an authentic, committed relationship. Seeing the lights turn on is just the greatest aphrodisiac.
And you can reach Anne for marital counseling, for going into your corporation, for individual work, for growing your business, for working on your mindset
Friendship counseling.
at goodtobetter2020
2020.
at gmail.com. We're going to pick a date. She's going to give a seminar in the New Dawn Theater. More to come with that. Great job, everyone. Thank you, ladies. You are totally outnumbered today, is all I can tell you.
Always am.
Good to be you.
Yeah, great to be.
It's his choice.
I love
Have
it.
it is his choice. Have a great day, everyone. Be kind to each other. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place.
And they don't have any nail polish among all of them. And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show is over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more goodwill next time. You can follow the cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.